What is up guys, welcome back to my channel and it's the spooky season. To commemorate that, in this video I'll be making Fakemon for it. Now, this video is actually a two-part series and this is the second part of that. I'll link part 1 in the description below. If you want to check out my other Fakemon videos, I'll also link the playlist in the description below. Now without further ado, let's get started. Oh yeah, by the way, one last thing before the video starts. It's raining really hard right now, so if there's any background noise, sorry. It's the rainy season in the Philippines, so yeah. The first Fakemon for this video is based on the Skinwalker, or as we call in my Discord server video, Hayokao, Chupacabras, and Coyotes with mange. Skinwalkers are portrayed as wolf-faced humanoid creatures with long limbs and a starving look. To emphasize the wolf-like nature of the Skinwalker, I added some extra Chupacabra and Coyote elements in the Fakemon. Now, this fit really well, since those three themes I chose are really similar. Chupacabras are wolf-like creatures with no skin and long joints. Coyotes with mange are coyotes basically without any skin. So, I'm sure as you saw with the pictures, the themes are really similar. Mimicreep, the skinny Pokemon. Its name comes from mimicry and creep, and it's a normal type with the ability Prankster and the hidden ability Skinny. Now, Skinny is a new ability, and what it does is that it allows the Pokemon who has that ability to hold 3 berries at once. Legends say that it used to be a human but became a Pokemon due to a curse. It wears the skin of its most recent kill on its head. At night, it will howl at the moon. Because Mimicreeps fight each other a lot, they have developed pink barbs to scratch opponents with. Let's take a look at Mimicreep's evolution, Bramburr. Bramburr is based on Skinwalkers, Coyotes, Chupacabras, Brambles, and wolves in sheep's clothing. Something I noticed about Earthcore is that I have very few monsters that just get bigger when they evolve. I feel like each region has something like that, so Bramburr is gonna be my gets bigger mon. To start with, I gave it bigger, more adult proportions as opposed to Mimicreep who had awkward kid-like proportions. To show the wolf in sheep's clothing theme, I gave it wool in its body and put some brown spikes there to act as twigs or brambles that get stuck in the wool. Those would make it look spikier than Mimicreep while still selling the sheep wool look. The spikes would fit the Chupacabra theme too, since they have spikes. I gave it very muted grayish colors to show its Skinwalker nature, gave it a long tongue and fangs to emphasize its Chupacabra nature, and I was done. Bramburr, the Skinner Pokemon. Its name comes from Bramble and Burr, and it's a normal dark type with the secondary type Poison. Its ability is fluffy while its hidden ability is cotton down. Its wool coat, despite looking weak, is actually very resilient. It's used by Bramburr to block other Bramburrs from scratching them in territorial battles. The brown spikes on its back aren't too dangerous as long as you don't get close to them, but its pink spikes hold the deadly poison. Mimicreep often follow Bramburr, getting it whatever it needs. Now for the second line of this video. The first one of this line, Infanak, is based on Tianaks, super smart children, and orcs. I wanted Infanak to follow the small genius trope, with its evolution being pretty stupid. Infanak would order around its evolution and plan everything. To follow the small genius trope, I gave Infanak 4 arms. 2 would serve as transportation arms and the other 2 would be its normal arms. This symbolized the chairs of levitating vehicles that geniuses sit on in movies. For colors, I chose the generic orc and ogre colors, with dark blue for its hair. Infanak, the brainy Pokemon. Its name comes from Infant, Infernal, and Tianak, and it's a psychic fighting type with the ability Prankster and the hidden ability Unseen Fist. It has 2 pairs of arms. The first pair is used to move, while the second pair is used for more delicate work. Though it can fight, it's not very good at it, and prefers to use other methods to win battles, like deception. It likes to pretend to be a defenseless infant and attack people or Pokemon who get close. It's very smart. Now for Infanak's evolution, Golossal. It's based on Minotaurs, Ogres, and the Bungis-ngis, which is a laughing cyclops from Philippines folklore. It's super strong, has large teeth and tusks on its mouth, but it's not too smart. It has a good sense of hearing and it has a really big upper lip as well. Something else I've noticed about Earthcore is that I have very little mons who look different from when they evolve. To fix that, I made Golossal very different from Infanak. New pose, new proportions, color scheme, everything. Golossal would represent those big dumb brute servants that serve the smaller geniuses. To show the Minotaur and Bungis-ngis inspirations, I gave it horns, a cow nose, tusks, and big ears. I also gave it lots of hair on its body to make it way cooler. I gave its face patterns inspired by Kratos from the God of War games, gave it a menacing posture, and most importantly, a big eye in the center of its forehead. I'm really proud of this guy. I think everything about him looks good. For colors, I made him very different from Infanax, with orange, brown, and a dark reddish color. To emphasize its sort of hulking brute theme, I added a golden ring in its nose to make it look tougher. Golossal, the brawny Pokemon. Its name comes from Goliath and Golossal, and it's a fairy fighting type with the ability Bulky and the hidden ability Friend Guard. Despite not being very smart, Golossal has many strong abilities like amazing strength, good hearing, and toughness. Due to its small brain, it mostly just acts as a caretaker for its pre-evo. Its care involves just doing everything Infanak wants and spoiling it. Alright, now it's time for maybe my favorite or second favorite mon in this video. Last week, my favorite Fakemon of Part 1 was Earthcorian Gardevoir, a powerful soul queen that forces souls to serve her. It seems like all the spirits are in danger. Who will protect them? Well, Earthcorian Gallade, of course. Earthcorian Gallade is based on princess, heroes, and ghost knights. While Earthcorian Gardevoir's attitude is like a goth girl, Earthcorian Gallade is like a ghostly prince. Despite how it looks, it's kind-hearted and noble. For his design, I basically just made him a guy version of Earthcorian Gardevoir, with some minor changes. I gave him a skull and his head to act as a helmet and some dark armor. For his body, I made it like shakier than Earthcorian Gardevoir's. I gave it a shield hand and a scythe hand as well. I kept the bloody blade looking things on its head and body to keep it similar to Gardevoir, and I was done. Earthcorian Gallade, the soldier Pokemon. It's a ghost fighting type with the ability Wandering Spirit and the hidden ability Resurrector. Kind and noble, it protects people and Pokemon around it valiantly. One arm of Gallade is used to shield, while its other arm can turn into almost any blade weapon imaginable. No one knows who or what the skull on its head belongs to. It has a certain rivalry with Earthcorian Gardevoir. Earthcorian Gallade has a weird relationship with Earthcorian Gardevoir. To start, let me explain Gardevoir's early life cycle. It first gets born, gains powers, and starts killing and enslaving souls to suck out their life force so it can live. But the thing is, it doesn't want to do that. It needs to if it wants to survive, but it would much rather just not do it. Which is why it's not a blood type, because blood types actually enjoy killing. Because if it's need to do that to souls, Gardevoir's always sad and longs to just be happy and have friends. Now let's take a look at Gallade's life cycle. It gets born, gains powers, and grows up learning to protect and serve. Using its powers for good, it's loved by people and Pokemon around it as opposed to Gardevoir, who is lonely and sad. Now, this is the part where both their paths converge. Once a Gardevoir or Gallade reaches a certain age, they'll leave home and seek out the opposite gender. Why? To battle, of course. If Gardevoir wins, it turns Gallade into its ghost form, where it serves Gardevoir its whole life. Oh yeah, and by the way, thanks to my friend Matt for helping me with the concept for this line, as well as giving me the concept art for Earthcorian Gallade's ghost form. Anyways though, after Gardevoir defeats Gallade, it doesn't need to eat souls anymore, since the pure soul energy radiating from Gallade is enough to satisfy it. That's if Gardevoir wins. If Gallade wins, however, it will convince Gardevoir to stop eating souls by offering to let Gardevoir eat its soul energy. This doesn't hurt anyone since, as I said earlier, Gallade radiates lots of soul energy anyways. After that, because Gardevoir doesn't need to kill souls anymore, it becomes happy. Eventually, Gallade and Gardevoir might even end up together. In the end, it doesn't really matter who wins or loses, as Gallade and Gardevoir end up together either way. The only difference is Gallade's form when they end up together. Anyways though guys, that's all for this video. I really liked the art I did, and I hope you did too. Remember to like, subscribe, join my Discord server, and tell me what you think about these guys in the comments. Thanks for watching.